grew up in a community where helping people was a way of life. We had a man in our neighborhood who was injured in an accident and was paralyzed. My dad and some other men went in and built a house for him that was handicapped accessible. Back in the days when we didn't know those words, we just knew the man needed a comfortable home. I mean, it was just a way of life, and when it's ingrained with you, you do it almost automatically without thinking about it. I came in this morning and there was something going on out on the interstate, and they had someone stretched out over on the shoulder. It looked to be under control, but I still had that sense of whether or not I should stop. I didn't, because they were taking care of things. But it's just one of those things that when you know somebody's in trouble, you try to help. My favorite, as I think if anyone talks to me very long, has been with Red Cross in disaster services. Another one I have is a picture of a little girl who's just received her lunch or dinner in one of those little styrofoam packages, and the Red Cross herb is behind her where they were serving the food. Her face is glowing. It's almost like Christmas for her. And that's one of the certificates and pictures that I keep as a treasure. There's also joy in being able to lay down, go to sleep, thank God for the day and what you've had an opportunity to do. It's not always convenient. Sometimes you have to put things aside that you'd like to do, but it's well worth it. And when you really commit to a voluntary or a volunteer organization, you know that you're giving up some of your time, much of your time, but it's well worth it. I knew that I wanted to work with the Red Cross. That came about because we had had a flood in the western part of the county. One of those mining camps had been washed out completely by one of the little mountain streams. And I was principal of the school at Rupert at that time and had an opportunity to help respond to the victims. And Red Cross came in. And when I saw what Red Cross was doing, I was determined that that's where I was going when I retired. And so I did. I retired. I taught disaster courses. I worked on disasters. I taught chapter orientation classes for Red Cross, did some administrative work. And then finally came time to give that up. And it wasn't too long till I was recruited to work with the Committee on Aging, and that's what I'm doing now. Now, along with most of that, there was also church activities, and on the local and conference and district levels. Then there's always the incidental times that you can help people and be helped yourself. I would just like to express my appreciation for being nominated and being accepted. That's quite an honor. And one of the things about being a volunteer is that you don't want to go out and brag about what you do. So I hope I haven't bragged here today. But I am grateful, and I do thank all those involved.